two pigs into market yesterday evening. That works better for our butcher if we take him in the evening before, because we're a commercial butcher for the farmer's market. Then he has to butcher ours first because the inspector is there to watch and make sure that he's butchering according to the laws for commercial butchering. So we left right after dinner to take those pigs, and as shown in the videos you can tell that it's, you know, getting a little bit later in the evening, but it's not super late. We should have been back by, I don't know, 7:30, and instead we got back well after 9 o'clock because a huge storm went through. We could see it brewing as we left. The thunder was starting, but we didn't expect it to be practically a tornado, which as we came farther up the hill from the main road, it looked more and more like that's what had happened. So the farther up the hill we came, lots of trees down on power lines and telephone lines, and then we actually got stopped twice. We got stopped really close to our road, and then we ended up going down a different road to try to get home, because you know, we had all the kids with us and it's getting to be their bedtime at this point. Plus we just wanted to get home. So we ended up going some back roads, and a couple times we had to stop the truck and trailer and kind of get out and make sure that the trailer was going to make it underneath the branches that were across the road. So we made it out. We came in from the other direction to hit our road, and we got stopped again. So that tree was just down across the road, and it wasn't across wires like when we had tried to come in the regular way towards the house. The people didn't want to touch the tree that was laying across the wires on the first time that we got stopped. You know, they didn't want to damage anything or be responsible for anything, and of course it's dangerous to touch the electrical lines as well. So when we came in from the other direction, Alan went up there. There's a couple of guys with tractors and chainsaws, and it took them a little while, but they got the tree off the road, and we finally made it home. So no power when we got home, of course, and we expected to be out of power for several days, if not a week, just because there's so many trees across the power lines. But it's kind of looking like in this immediate area, it might have been just Red House Hill that was hit. And so on my email this morning, I had an email from AEP, our electric company, saying that they expected to have all the power back on by this evening about 10 p.m. So who knows, once they get out here, if they'll adjust that, if they'll keep pushing that back. But right now we don't have any power. We've got the generator running, and we're getting ready to go out and check our animals, our fields, our pastures, the pig barn out there. Alan ran out really fast last night with the Gator. It's got headlights on it, and he was able to tell that the animals were okay. He actually ended up moving the horses and the cows into a different pasture because there were so many trees down on the fence. But now that it's daylight, we're going to head down there and head out and see how much damage we've got. So let's see.
Off out of that tree right there.
Yeah. The guard looks okay. Big pile of branches down there. Branches out of that tree. Yeah. And this is the top of a cherry tree. Somebody moved this off the road last night before we came home. Trees down across the fence. Alan had to come out here last night. He ran around and saw up top. Oh yeah, you can kind of see a path down the hill where the trees drag down. Alan ran out to this pasture. This is where the horses and cows were last night. When we got home from taking the pigs to the butcher shop, he wanted to, you know, he ran out to the pig barn, made sure everything was still okay, and came out to this pasture, and he ended up having to move the horses and cows real quick because there were so many trees in across the fence. They probably would have been able to get out because there's just too much stuff blocking where the down fence is, but still, just for keeping them, yeah. Same thing, kind of see the hole where the tree fell.
There's at least 4 trees down there.
That tree's topped off, that little one up there. Yeah, yeah. Alan says we don't have to worry about firewood next year. We've got plenty to cut up now, but it's going to be a mess getting this pasture cleaned up, and this is our biggest pasture, so has the most for the horses and cows to eat. But we're thankful all the animals seem to be okay. Yeah, look at that mess.
That's gonna be fun.
Good grief, on the corner of our fence. Hopefully all the fence posts are still stable. Here's a random tree branch on the fence. This is another one of our pastures out through here. We don't really see anything laying across the fence, just some branches down. So that's pretty easily fixed. Just throwing some branches over. What do you see? Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see, but there's some great big trees leaning. So those will probably go at some point.
Oh, they snapped off.
All right, so we're on our way out to the pig barn now. Alan ran out here last night and the pigs were still in their stalls. And it was dark, so he couldn't see a whole lot, but he could tell that the pigs were okay. So hopefully everything is okay here. So everything at the pig barn looks okay. All the pigs are all right, and there's the only thing that we really see is there's some branches down. Nothing on the pig barn roof that we can see. The last storm that we had a lot of windstorms this spring, some hailstorms, and we had some damage to the pig barn when those came through. So I was worried because our pig barn is out in the middle of the woods. So it's great as a windbreak, but kind of ironically in turn that opens it up to storm damage from trees that come down. So the only thing that I really see is from one of the last storms that we had, there was a tree that was leaning, and it's down now. But we weren't worried about it. We would have taken it down if we'd been worried about it. We weren't worried about it because it was leaning away from the barn. So it fell pretty much right where it was leaning on, and thank goodness the pig barn looks okay and the pigs are all right. So we're over here checking out the biggest hay field. This is actually on Alan's brother's property, but he lets us farm this side as well. But this is where we get most of our hay from, and so far we're coming back up along the other side here, and it looks like we're okay here too. Might seem kind of silly to check out a hay field, but it won't be too much longer. Another probably 2-3 weeks before we're haying this, and we need this for our horses and cows. How many bales do we get off of this for our first cutting? Almost 200, right? Right, yeah, maybe 204 bales. And we wanted to put up at least 300 for ourselves this year. So it's pretty important to us to make sure that this hay field is okay. We'd have to get anything that had fallen down. We'd want to go ahead and get cut so that it wouldn't keep us from cutting the whole field. So we're still up in the hay field, and this is the lower field. From here it looks like it's okay too. It kind of cuts out to the left there. It's sort of like an L shape. But I don't know that we'll go down there today. I think that will probably be okay. I thought I'd take a little video real quick and show you around the house here and show how crazy this storm was. So I'm standing in the garage right now and looking out. You can just see leaves everywhere. Everything up here next to the house, I don't really see any branches down even in the backyard. But we as I showed you down in the fields and stuff, we've got huge trees across the fence, across pasture fence, and yeah, out by Alan's dad's old house where our gardens are behind there. And but then you come here up at the house, and just, God is good in protecting us. He, yeah, I just want to show you some of the stuff that didn't blow away. Ignore the mess. So, here's a little car on wheels on a hill, didn't move. When Alan mowed the other day, he left some piles of grass because we've been putting that grass on the garden to help with weed control. Those are still there. Nothing has blown away. Let me show you over here something that look, here are empty pots sitting exactly where we left them. Some pieces of plastic roofing, really thin, really easy. You get a gust of wind up underneath there and it will blow to piece, blow it away. I mean, it hardly takes a breeze. It's still laying exactly where they were. Something that we were really worried about. Hopefully I can talk loud enough to go over the generator noise. But we just got this metal to finish up some of the pig barn that is still a work in progress. And our van, which is our main mode of transportation, because we were in the truck last night taking pigs to the butcher, hauling the trailer, is right there. So we were really worried when we got home that we'd find that this metal had blown, and we were really expecting some damage to the van because everything that we were seeing coming up the road was pretty crazy. So like I said, huge trees down, and not dead stuff. I mean live trees. So I wish I had my cell phone powered up. The battery was pretty much dying, and we wanted to save it for emergencies. So I didn't take any video coming home. But we walk along here, and yesterday we had, put some sleeping bags on the line, and the slip and slide that we let the kids play on the other day. So they're all kind of matted up together. I'll have to spread them out now, but they're still on the line. So that's kind of crazy. My DLC that I was getting ready to harvest, that might not be so good. I'll have to check into that in a little bit. But then I want to show you one other thing that kind of blew my mind here on the deck. Let me get along here. I mean, yeah, we had some ground cover laying out in the garden. It didn't really blow away. Just kind of crazy. But then look at this. Do you see that? That's a styrofoam cup. Now it had, you can see how much it rained. It was about half full of water. That's like a 16-ounce cup. So it was probably, yeah, something like that. It was left out here. The kids had a play date, and I let them eat lunch on the deck, and this got left out. But so this storm felled these huge live trees, but there's a styrofoam cup still standing with just a little tiny bit of water in it. So that's crazy. Really thankful that everything's okay. Okay guys, so here I am back on the deck again after running around and looking at all the damage, and all I can say is that we've got some work to do, but compared to what could have happened, we're okay. All the kids are okay, the house is okay. We had some stuff laying around like I showed you that it's kind of crazy that it didn't blow away. The pieces of metal that were on the ground could have hit the van and done some damage there. So all of our animals, all of our livestock are okay. The pig barn, we don't have any repairs to do out there. That's nice. So we've got a lot of chainsaw work to do, a lot of cutting and some fence mending to do, but otherwise really thankful that nothing lasting. Thankful that we have the generator and that we had some gas in the building to make sure that our freezers and our refrigerators stay running. So I think that we're just real thankful that everything's okay. All in all, a storm blew through. I hope everybody else was as fortunate. It just is the way it is sometimes. Good old Mother Nature.